And I'd like to ask everyone to join me on items number 6 and 7, which are both consent items. They are under the hearing and second reading of ordinances from our standing and regional committees. And because they are ordinances, we will have public input again, and as usual, I'd like to open the public hearing, ask all those in public to listening to the public and taking into the consideration of public's thoughts about a proposed ordinance is an important part of our process and one that enhances our deliberations, so we do take it seriously, align for public input. In order to allow, though, everyone to provide comments, I would like to set the following ground rules, which are the same ones that we've had in the past, and that is that I would like for people to remain seated until the time for your public testimony or comment. Do not make audible noises during the meeting. Your testimony must be germane or relevant to the legislation. That means reading the ordinance and commenting on items, information that is within the said ordinance that we're considering, or ordinances. And your comments must be on matters relating to county government. That is when we have the open forum on the fourth Monday of each month. If you do not abide by these ground rules, you will be asked to conclude your comment and may be asked to leave the meeting room. I just want everybody to be clear on that. So with that, we have Mia Jacobson, Sam Bellamio, and Alex Zimerman sign up. And I'm like, no, Mia, you guys, I just said one at a time and the other sitting. That's the way I would like to run the King County Council meeting. No.
Well, you also said that you always did that, and that's not true. Up until this point, we've always been able to stand, because we are an organization, so I don't understand.
This is not the first week. I announced this last week, too.
Okay.
You cannot do in person.
So it's
I'm not going to allow you to testify unless the other two gentlemen are sitting down. We'll be in recess, Madam.
You realize that's a show of your hold other organizations to the same standard of not allowing fellows to stand together when they give their public testimony.
I'm not going to answer that.
But if it's a guideline, shouldn't it apply across the board to every organization?
It applies where we have indicated that it applies.
So whenever you choose to enforce the rules, you will.
We're only dealing with today's meeting, and you're using up.
Well, I just wanted to be, I don't know why this is part of my public comment, because I just wanted to be clear of the guidelines you just enforced.
I've already made it clear.
Okay, so you've made it clear that you will enforce whatever rule you deem appropriate to whatever organization you have prejudice towards.
No, I didn't say that.
Well, if you're not going to apply this guideline to any other organization, that's exactly what you're doing.
If you're not going to comment on items 7 and 8, you will be ruled out.
Okay, well, I'm sorry. I just wanted to be sure of the rules, so I feel like I'm just trying to work with you to understand what exactly it is what you're saying. So I'm speaking on ordinances or consent items 6 and 7 having to do with the approving and adopting collective bargaining agreement. I don't think you guys should vote on this ordinance today. The process through which this ordinance was created, I feel, doesn't really help the people. It doesn't have any place for public participation within the committee which created this ordinance. There's no opportunity for the public to actually have a say in the ordinances that you guys vote on. This final opportunity to give you my public testimony, I feel, doesn't really do justice to the idea of the people's government, to the idea that we do have authority in our own society. So if you guys were able to actually open your committees, I think you guys could really be a shining example to the rest of the nation of what we can do to fix the problems that we face that have been created by the process in place. We need to change our fundamental relationship between the people and their representatives. The people need to have the opportunity to speak freely to you, to redress their grievances, in order to legitimize these ordinances.
Thank you, Mia. Sam Bellamio.
Yeah. My name is Sam Bellamio, and I'm here with StandUP-America. And well, let me have my form of freedom of speech, because they're supposed to be holding the sign for me while I speak, because that in and itself is freedom of speech, which you have limited. So I've written out my comments for today, and I'm going to start off with RCW 4230.010, and I think it applies. I didn't even know this was going to happen today. You were going to arbitrarily apply a new rule to an organization, but RCW 4230.010, the people of the state do not yield their sovereignty to the agencies which serve them. The people in delegating authority do not give the public servants the right to decide what is good for the people to know and what is not good for the people to know. The people insist on remaining informed so that they may retain the control over the instruments which they created. What you're essentially doing is shutting off what the citizens on TV can see, that we have protested against you allowing any ordinance to pass in committees that don't allow for public input. And as Julia Patterson writes you a note, I'm going to tell you why it applies, because on meeting on the March 26, 2013 in the Government Accountability, which proved that a council member asking the staff directly if there was citizen input allowed, and the staff member said no, there was no public input allowed. And he asked why. Why was that the situation? Oh, resources, which is the new way of government getting out, saying, oh, we don't have the resources. So even a council member wanted to know why there was no public participation. And you don't have any answer to that either. Why aren't your committees open? That was a perfect opportunity on the 26th for citizens to come in and give what they thought was important to this committee to know. And that council member wanted to play like he was doing the good thing by asking, why is there no public input? You have the opportunity now in all your committees to allow for public input. You have the opportunity now to allow people to stand together. That's freedom of speech, freedom of assembly. If people want to stand behind me with a sign to show support, if people want to stand behind me to show what this means to me, this has no meaning to you, and it has a meaning to me, and I am allowed to have people stand behind me.
Mr. Bellamio, your time is up.
Time is always up for the citizens. You guys are 15 minutes late. You can't give me 30 seconds more to speak to you about what I'm concerned with?
No,
what other citizens are concerned with? You're just going to arbitrarily apply rules to us?
Alex Zimerman.
This is disgusting abuse of power.
Hi, my name is Alex Zimerman, and I represent StandUP-America. Guys, why you are acting like a dirty, raw, garbage rats, huh?
I'm going to rule you right now.
No, I want talking about. It's exactly to.
We're on recess. Oh, I'm sorry. We're going to come out of recess. Are there any others in the audience that would like to speak on ordinances 6 and 7? Hearing no one, the public hearing is closed, and I call on Councilmember Patterson to move these items.